Darabalinya Badu Wiradjuri, Yawanadi Glen Loughrey. I'm proud to be Wiradjuri and my name is Glen Loughrey. I grew up around north of the Mudgee in New South Wales around a little town called Ulan, and I am a visual artist. I'm passionate about Aboriginality and justice, about being all that I am as an Aboriginal person without the need to be anything else, and about justice for our people in this country whose land was stolen, and those who've pinched it have no intention to give it back anytime soon. So it's about the justice to deal with the trauma and the implications of losing what is most precious to you, your country. I grew up, as I said, around a little place called Ulan in New South Wales, and my family were a family that didn't identify as Aboriginal, although it was a fairly well-known piece of information. So out of that came this sense of identity crisis for us, so we never talked about our Aboriginality, and it remains that way for some of my family now. And that's okay, that's the way the process works, and it was part of the deconstitution of people's identity. So I don't carry it, I've never been initiated into culture. I live out of what is in my body and what I've learnt from being with my father, and therefore my art doesn't reflect traditional stories, it reflects the experience of people who were exiled from those original stories. I think one of the things my father would say when I was a young boy on the farm was, walk your country, and if you listen carefully, it will tell you what it needs and what you need to do. And above all else, don't make dust. What he was saying was that if you're in touch with your country, which is everything within your universe, and for us as Aboriginal people, that is from horizon to horizon, sky to ground, all the creatures and all the things that are there, you will begin to hear what is required of you as a person, as an Aboriginal person, as a custodial person. And one of the ways that assists me in my art practice is that I approach my canvas as my country, and I begin a journey across that canvas with mostly a non-preconceived idea, simply beginning to put marks on the canvas and seeing where those marks take me. I'm interested in things that are important for Aboriginal people, which is patterns, which is the fact that life is never linear, it is always circular or squiggly, and that we don't actually follow straight lines. We often don't go anywhere, but always come back to where is the beginning, or the place that is central to us. So it's about allowing the canvas to discover its own story and tell that story by following with the marks. And it's Winingara, which is a word in our language which means to sit, to listen, and to hear, and then to reflect and react, but not to actually do anything unless there is no other choice. So I sit in that space with my canvas, and because of the way I work, it takes 3 or 4 months to do a piece. There are a lot of changes and shifts that comes out of that cultural thinking. I think art is a universal language in all its various forms, and if it's, art is the one thing that can explain life to you, and it can explain yourself. And I think it's one of those things that brings people together. Every piece of art speaks its own own truth, but that truth is contextual to the person who's looking at it and relating to it. So I think it's a very important process to bring people together. At St Oswald's, we've collaborated and invited a gallery owner to bring an art gallery into the front of the church. It's not our gallery, it belongs to the gallery owner, and that gallery opens up. It's an Aboriginal art gallery, has art from Central Australia, and it's curated to begin the conversation about stories such as song lines, the Seven Sisters, Water Still Dreaming, and all those kind of stories. And it brings people in, and because it's right on the footpath in High Street there at Ashburton, St Oswald's, people just walk in and have a look and begin the conversation, and people from many different backgrounds. And I think it's an important thing. And I sit in the little space I have at the back where I do my painting, and listening to those who are running the gallery, engaging with and telling story and opening up the possibilities to people who come in, and it's very exciting to listen to that.